What's poppin', people? It's Dante. Welcome to the Centennial Arboretum. And today I'm thinking about curiosity and why this matters. Ultimately, I believe it's the goal of a photographer to increase our curiosity by 1% each day. And what does that look like and what does that mean? So when you look at the word curiosity and its etymological roots, essentially it means to care. Cura meaning to care for, to investigate deeply, to be interested in the unknown. That's where curiosity lies, and I believe the duty of the photographer, the duty of the artist, is to articulate the unknown, to put order to the chaos of life. And I find this to be a very beautiful goal to outset with each and every day, to investigate the unknown with curiosity. Good morning. And I think playfulness is necessary to cultivate curiosity, to return to the child's mind. So each and every day when you wake up, look at the world as if you're a child, right? Go back to that childlike perspective. Remember being a kid and going down low and investigating the details of things, right? And looking at the leaves and playing with the sticks. You know, I remember building teepees with sticks, building bridges with stones, exploring the unknown in my backyard in the Wissahickon forest. And these days I like to cultivate my sense of curiosity by using the macro feature on the Ricoh GR III or the Ricoh GR IIIX. And I find that the macro feature allows you to carefully pay attention to the details, which I believe is at the root of what curiosity means. And so you'll find details to be exciting when you look at them with this fresh perspective. And I encourage you too to try to photograph in the macro way. You know, there's something about looking at the macro details and then looking up at the vastness of the long, tall, looming trees and photographing these different things and complexities of life. But through putting four corners around it, you're articulating it. You're putting order to the chaos. You're putting order to the serendipity and the spontaneity and the flux of life that exists within nature or human behavior. Whether you're watching the way the trees grow, loom, break and die and wither away, or people and the way they move, grow and gesture, there's something about the way in which people also evolve, similar to the way in which nature evolves over time, that I'm intrigued by as a street photographer working in the realm of photographing people candidly out there in the open world. You know, there's something about investigating humanity almost like an anthropologist that I find to be an exciting way to approach street photography. And so when you're out there in the streets, recognize that the simple goal that you need to set out with each day is to embrace play and cultivate curiosity. Everything else will simply fall into place from there. You know, I think ultimately we know a bit too much about what makes or breaks a great photograph in the realm of photography. And so in order to push the medium forward, we should return to what it means to be curious. We should return to what it means to pay attention, to focus on the details around us and to articulate these things, because ultimately it's the unknown that excites me. It's the spontaneity and the serendipity of life that I find to fuel my lust for life, where every day may seem mundane, but when you approach the world with this spirit of play, everything falls into place in a miraculous way, where the spontaneity, the serendipity, the randomness, the entropy becomes our place of thriving, the chaos itself. And so in order to put order to chaos, one must cultivate curiosity, because this is what will guide us to these photographs, these works of art, these things that we're trying to create in the world, right? And so in order to become a more curious photographer, one must go forward with openness, with this sense of curiosity, with this explorative mindset, where not only can one explore within the open world and look at the world as this ultimate playground or arena for us to conquer and to explore and to go beyond, but we can also dive within our mind and how we see and perceive things and recultivate curiosity through our mindset. And I think in order to do so, one must let go of any limiting beliefs, one must let go of any preconceptions of what life may be, and simply forget everything you think you know, not only about photograph, but about life itself. And so through changing your perspective in your mind, or even changing your perspective within the way that you view the world with your body, whether you're dropping down low, looking at details, going up high and looking down from the sky, photographing the trees, photographing the people from new perspectives, you can also change the way your perspective shapes the way that you photograph things through reframing the way that you view the world generally through philosophy or your perspective generally. And so I find mindset to be just as important as the physical nature and the visual game of photography. And so what that means is relearning everything from day one each and every day. This to me is at the root of what it means to be curious. And so essentially, as a practical way in which I frame my everyday life, is each and every morning I'm born again. It's a brand new way for me to engage with the world. It's like I'm born like a child again. And each night I treat it like a miniature death, like it's my last breath and I may not wake up in the morning. And so what that does is it really it puts me in this flow state during the day, where every single fleeting moment I champion, every single moment I'm present in, and I'm trying to articulate the world around me through curiosity and photography. And this to me is a beautiful way to carry out my life. And I just wanted to share these thoughts with you because I've never been so curious, I've never been so eager for the day since adopting this philosophy and mindset and approach to my everyday life through waking up each day with this fresh perspective, by going to bed each night assuming I won't wake up. I take each moment very much with passion and vigor and vitality, and I don't just live on standby. You know, I find that when you're stagnant and you're not moving and you're simply sitting by on the sidelines of life, you know, inside, this is where souls go to die. So when I'm moving my physical body outside, moving, observing, articulating the unknown, putting order to the chaos, I exist outside the passage of time. Through the way in which I photograph my way through life, I find I exist here and now, where we have a past, we have a future, but these things are no longer of my concern. For when I'm in that present moment, pressing the shutter, I'm affirming life and saying yes, with curiosity and courage at the forefront. This is where I thrive, and I find that through the act of making more pictures, through the act of paying attention to the details, through the act of carefully observing life and articulating the unknown, I give my life such deep and rich meaning, where each and every moment is so beautiful and everything I see new again. And so these are my thoughts about curiosity and photography, some practical suggestions about how you can adopt this philosophy or mindset about, you know, approaching life with curiosity. And so once again, this to me is the ultimate goal of the photographer, is to increase our curiosity by 1% each and every day. And then everything else will fall into place. Just follow that inner child within you, and you may just find yourself in a blissful state where everything is absolutely interesting. Just pay attention and eliminate distractions, and you'll find yourself in a flow state. Wow, that beautiful bird flying in between the trees. I love photographing those things. It's such a beautiful morning. Cherry blossoms, check it out. Yes. Look at this. Wow.